All right. Thank you again for everyone to joining us. We are going to get started with Chef Kelsey and our healthy takeout program. So go ahead
Just
and
have to,
whenever
I had
can
to
I
hit
adjust the cameras?
OK that we were
Oh,
recording so it
oh,
didn't
okay,
be
got it.
like, sometimes it'll kick you out. That would have been awkward.
Technology.
I know,
All
that would have
right.
been awkward if it asked me to leave. So,
Yeah, I can't do anything from here. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, no. Hello, my name is Chef Kelsey. I am a Lowell-based chef and food educator. I am also the chef at Bright Lock Farm in Winchester. We're a nonprofit 105c3 farm that offers all kinds of different community programming and private events and education and senior programs and nature trails. So it's a really incredible space. I invite everyone to come and visit and hang out. And I'm super excited to be here. We are talking about Chinese takeout. It's really funny because I was telling Becca, we have a preschool at the farm and a kindergarten, and I'm teaching them this week. And we're also doing Asian inspired food and kind of, talking about Chinese New Year and like it makes us think about Chinese food and takeout and stuff like that. And so we're not really making any Chinese New Year inspired food tonight, but we are thinking about kind of like that classic Chinese takeout. How can we have Chinese takeout or a Chinese style takeout at home? Um, that just feels a little bit healthier. And it's like, honestly, it's super, super easy. When I was kind of prepping everything, I was like, man, I love just how many different vegetables and like all this stuff is here. So we're gonna make four different things tonight. We are gonna make a baked crispy orange chicken, which is one of my favorite things at the Chinese restaurant. I love orange chicken. I also love Trader Joe's makes like a frozen orange chicken. Have you ever had it? No. Oh, it's so good. It's like that's like if we really don't feel like cooking, we always have a bag in the freezer. But this is really delicious. So we're gonna do an orange chicken, and then we're gonna do a rice. We're gonna do some stir-fried vegetables and a cucumber salad. So the first thing we're gonna do is start with the chicken, and I should also add, I think Becca said it, but if you guys have any questions, put it in the chat. Becca will ask. I love talking and answering questions, so we're here for it. Um, all right, so we're gonna start with the chicken. And this is super simple. If you are vegetarian, you can do this exact same thing with tofu. So I have in the recipe like how to make it with tofu. But what I have is I've got my chicken that is just kind of like cut into, like inch, 2 inch chunks, like a nice little piece. And then in here, I have what I'm gonna cover it in. So it's actually just, it's cornstarch and then some spices. So this is gluten-free too, which is great. Like we don't need flour. We're gonna use cornstarch, which works really well for making something crispy because the cornstarch really sucks up all of the extra moisture. So I just mixed it up and then I'm gonna add my chicken in. There we go. Get rid of this. Right, and then I'm just gonna toss it. And so what's also really nice about this, sometimes when you're doing like a crispy chicken at home, you have to do the three steps, right? You do the flour and the egg and then the panko or the breadcrumbs or whatever. But the cornstarch just adheres. So it really just kind of like takes all that moisture and it just uses it to stick to. So you can see right here, like I literally didn't put anything on this chicken and it's completely covered in the cornstarch, which is great. And then we're gonna bake it. So I have a tray right here, and I just put a like an oven safe little rack in here for it, and I sprayed it because I want to make sure that the chicken's not gonna stick.
Yeah, I've always said that like fried chicken is one of my biggest weaknesses when it comes to like takeout and everything like that.
You
So
have to go to Nan's.
I know I have to. I'm like, I think it's like one of my goals. So like when I lived in Italy, I tried so many different gelato places and ranked them on the blog that I was writing. And now I'm like, I just want to do that with fried chicken, like just for a project.
I asked myself to do this. Like,
You're like, yeah, you know what people need? Probably not this, but I do. So
I don't know. People might need that.
maybe, you know what? I maybe I should get a reputation as a food critic. Who knows?
Fried chicken food critic.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So I'm just like my chicken, full honesty, forgot to take it out. So I did like the whole having it in cold water. and it's still a tiny bit frozen. So I'm like smushing it a little bit to kind of break it up and make it not quite so bad. All right. And that's it. So the chicken is prepped. So I'm going to wash my hands really quick. And then I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit of olive oil over top just to like introduce a little fat, a little moisture, just help it get a little crispy.
That's actually something I do at home is I use my olive oil mister and I mist over the top
Mm.
because then it's evenly coated and everything. Those things are awesome. You can get them online, but they're great.
Just a little mist. Oh,
Yep.
where's my olive oil? Of course, I moved it all the way to the back. All right. So I'm just gonna a little bit of oil. Yeah, Mister would be good. Maybe I'll add it to my wish list for my birthday.
You definitely should. I use it all the time. I use it on popcorn too, which is really good.
Ooh, I love olive oil popcorn.
Yep. It's perfect.
All right,
Mine's called a misto. I'll put it in the chat.
a misto. What a great name. All right, so this chicken is going in. It's not going to take too long to cook because they're smaller pieces, but I figure I can just turn the oven off. They can hang out in there because it gets warmed up with the sauce. All right, let's just clean this and then we'll start chopping.
So for the people that are watching, I would love to know if you want to put it in the chat, like what is one of your favorite takeout options? Like when you are just so tired of cooking, so tired of thinking about what you want to make, so tired of going to the grocery store on like a Friday night, what is your go-to place or item that you're just like, yeah, this is what I want to
I
satisfy
love
my takeout craving?
sushi.
Oh, yes, I love sushi so much. I like both like the cooked versions and the raw versions. So I'm like in big trouble when I go because I'm like, ooh, everything's good.
Yum.
Yeah. Ooh, one person says Indian food. I love Indian food.
I do.
So
I love
good.
Indian food too. I need this
Mm.
to dry. Hold on. I love Indian food. For me, it's like, what can I not make well at home? You
That's
know?
exactly, yeah. Yeah. I won't lie. I bought some garam masala like a few years ago. Still haven't used it because I'm just
Oh,
like,
it's
I'm
so
so
good though.
nervous. I know I need to find something to use it on that's not like a full-on Indian dish.
Okay, but Indian food's not hard to cook. I made saag paneer this week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because it's so easy to make and I love
Oh.
it. I make it and then we use it for breakfast. So we'll do like
Oh,
heated up
okay.
saag paneer with like sourdough or roti bread with fried eggs on it.
Oh, yum. That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
it's awesome. And it's
Okay.
really easy. Maybe we'll do Indian food.
Oh my gosh.
I
Yes.
mean, but I'm not a professional. It would be like
Indian
Indian
light.
food for our friends who are white. Like,
That's okay. You know what?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Indian
but
inspired.
there it is. All right, so we are ready to start doing the rest of our cooking. So, one of the things we're going to do is make a cucumber salad. So, when I think about this, this is actually something that Henry and I eat a lot of, my partner. We love doing like takeout at home because making rice is so quick and easy. We'll make a cucumber salad and then we'll just do stir-fried vegetables. So, it's really easy and like Chinese restaurants can get really expensive when you're getting takeout and all the different things. So we're gonna do the cucumber salad. I'm actually gonna get the rice started. Funny story. I don't make the rice at the house because my partner is Dominican, which is a rice culture. So he's always making the rice. So he set it up for me. So I'm steaming it. How long? 7 minutes? Yeah. So we were using like the steam function. So we're gonna do like 7 minute steam with like a 10-minute release on our Instapot, but just follow whatever directions you have. Um, We're gonna make like a special kind of turmeric ginger rice, but it's literally you just make rice however you normally make your rice, and then we're gonna add to it. So I'm gonna get my rice cooking, so we wanna make sure it's done. And then once I finish the cucumbers, I'll talk about what we're gonna do for that. So we're gonna hit steam. Oh no, you did 6 minutes. Do seven? Okay. All right. The rice is going. Okay, so we're gonna do a smashed cucumber salad. I really love doing this. It's really fresh, it's crisp. I love cucumbers. So here are my cucumbers. These are just Persian cucumbers, and I'm just gonna cut off the ends. This is inspired by something from the New York Times that I just loved. And so I make a salad like this a lot now. So I'm just doing like big diagonal cuts on these. And then I'm going to cut it in half. And then flat end of the knife, sharp end away from me. I'm just going to smash it just like this. So you guys can see it's kind of smashed. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna toss it with a little salt and a little sugar, and that's gonna help macerate them. So it's gonna help get a lot of that excess moisture out of them. We'll drain them and then we'll make a dressing to go on top. It's super simple. Add some fresh herbs and you're done. Um, and I love this because it's so versatile. So for this, I'm making an Asian dressing, but you could just as easily do like Greek dressing with feta cheese and fresh herbs, or you could do like there's like different Mexican cucumber salads and stuff like that. So you could really just take this idea of like the smashed salad and kind of, oop, cucumber down and just make it your own. We lost a cucumber. Probably pick it up so I don't step on it. And smush cucumber under me. There we go. All right. If you guys look to the side, I have this little bowl here. It's my thank you for coming bowl. So if you compost, it's your compost bowl. If you don't, it's your trash bowl. But it's kind of just this idea of creating a space where the things that you don't need while you're cooking can go. Because a happy workspace or a clean workspace is a happy workspace. There's nothing worse than like all the things all around you and feeling like you're kind of out of control while you're cooking. So I love just to have that little bowl there. So instead of going back and forth to the trash or compost, you fill it up and then you empty it. And there we go. All right, so these are all smashed. I've got a little sugar in my bowl. I'm gonna add a little salt. I'm gonna mix it up. And then that's gonna sit for like 20 minutes. So this will be like the last thing we kind of finish up. All right, give it a little stir. And this can hang out over here doing its, don't want that to fall. There we go. All right. So that's all done. So now I'll finish talking about the rice. So I love like really aromatic rice. We do make rice a decent amount here, and it's normally just like plain rice, which is great. But there's this technique in Asian cooking where they will take aromatics and fry them in hot oil. And it kind of like cooks it down and like releases all these flavors. And so I was like, I want to do that and toss it in my rice. And so I did, and it was absolutely fantastic. So that's what we're going to do today. So in my pot back here, I've just got a little neutral oil. So like an avocado oil. You could also do like a coconut oil if you wanted, because those flavors would go really well. And a little sesame oil. And that's going to hang out back here. I'm just going to turn that on because I want to bring it up to like a simmer. And I'm going to prep my aromatics. So for this, we're doing scallions, we're doing ginger, and then we're doing fresh turmeric. So this is fresh turmeric. Put it up here so you guys can see. Kind of looks like a little grub. They have it at like Whole Foods. I got this at Wegmans. But it's a root like ginger, and turmeric is so good for you. So both ginger and turmeric, like ginger is really good for your immune system. Turmeric is really good, like, inflammation and things like that. So I really love like eating this because it feels like you're kind of getting like a 2-for-1. And it's also just, it tastes so good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off the ends of my scallions. You could put that in water and they'll regrow if you want to, which is pretty fun. And then I'm just gonna do a really fine chop. So with my knife, the way that I'm holding it is take my thumb and my pointer finger, just pinch here on the blade and wrap my hand around. So you guys can see I'm kind of holding it like this. I don't have my finger out. If I do, I kind of hit my wrist versus pinched. I have a full range of motion. And the other thing is when I hold my knife like this, it's kind of like an extension of my arm. So if you hold your knife this way, you can actually feel it pulling right here. You can feel it on the muscle versus here, it's really evenly balanced. And again, like this extension. Um, and then I'm not going to go like up and down. I'm going to do a smooth rocking motion. All right. And we go. Just moving my fingers back as I go. So I have my green onions, and then I'm going to grate my turmeric and my ginger. And then once my oil is hot, we're going to pour the hot oil in. And then that can kind of just hang out. And when the rice is ready, we'll toss that in and mix it all together. All right. My Instapot just made like a noise and says, like, has a thing on it. It says pressure, maybe a pressure. There we go. It was too pressurized.
Oh my
It was just-
goodness.
Henry and I just kept looking at each other like we've never heard that noise when
Oh
we've
my
done
God.
this before.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't want to have a recording of you exploding in your kitchen, okay?
No, no, we released the pressure. Everything is fine.
Oh my
It's an
gosh.
Instapot. It can't be that dangerous, right? Knock on
I
wood.
I bought an Instant Pot, I think maybe 6 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
I've never used it.
I
I'm
use
I'm
mine
too
like three
afraid.
times a week.
Do you?
I use it
Okay.
all the time because
All
I use
right.
it as like counting things off of the day. I use it as like it's my slow cooker. It's my like
Yeah.
because you can sear in it too. And I use it like if I have to pressure cook something, or we'll use it for like steaming rice. We have the one that's like the duo, so it also air fries. So we'll do all
Oh,
of our
that's
air
cool.
frying in there, and I love it. I love my Instapot.
Okay. I might need a tutorial. We'll
I
do a
don't work for
private
them,
tutorial.
people, but I do love it. All right, so the other thing I need to get ready is my ginger and turmeric. So here's one of the things I kind of want to talk about. I did prep ahead of time so you guys wouldn't have to watch me grate all the ginger, all the garlic, all that stuff. But that being said, one of the things that you're going to find when you're doing like Asian cooking or Mexican cooking or anything like this is a lot of the flavors, even Indian cooking, a lot of the flavors go along for different recipes. So this is, I'm making like, there's three different sauces. So I'm only going to show you how to do like two really quickly. But like, this is my sauce for the vegetable stir fry, and it has grated ginger and grated garlic in it. Back here, I already grated my ginger and my garlic, but let's just pretend that you're in your kitchen and you're cooking and you're doing this. Put bowls out and do all of it at once. So all of your ginger for every recipe at once, all of your garlic for every recipe at once, because then you're doing it and you're done. You don't have to worry about it, you know? Um, but for this case, I'm going to show you how to do this part. So I'm going to grate it. So this is my microplane, and this is my bigger one. I like using this one with the ginger because it's so fibrous that a lot of times when you're grating it, it gets so messy. The other thing is whenever I'm grating ginger, garlic, any of those things, I do it on a plate because it releases so much juice. So if you're doing it on a cutting board, that juice is going to go into your cutting board instead, right? So this is my ginger, and probably don't need all of it. And I'm just gonna peel it. You can also use like a spoon to peel ginger, which is pretty cool. Or in the early fall is when ginger's like in season, or I guess like mid-fall. And you can get fresh ginger in New England, and you don't have to peel it at all. It's awesome. Okay, so I've got my ginger, and then I'm just gonna grate it. So I need about a tablespoon. I'm making a half a batch from what I gave you guys in the recipe. It's kind of actually easy to think about like 1 cup of rice, 1 tablespoon ginger, 1 tablespoon turmeric. Make it easy. All right, it's kind of getting stuck. It's so fibrous. All right. If you can't find fresh turmeric, you can use the turmeric that's dried. It's just not as like fragrant.
Does
All
it
right.
still stain everything yellow?
Yeah. How you know
'Cause-
it's good.
yeah, I know, right?
All right. And then for my turmeric, same thing as the ginger. I'm just going to peel it. So, I mean, look how orange that is. So vibrant. I love turmeric. There is something about fresh turmeric. It's so good. I like to do too, like in the summer, I'll do turmeric ginger water. So I'll do like lemon, ginger, mint, and turmeric in water.
That sounds so good.
Really refreshing.
I like doing cucumber water and lemon water a lot for
Yeah.
sure.
All right, so I just peeled that and woo! My hands are gonna be dyed.
You know what you could
Can't wait.
try is use a magic eraser, those like Mr. Clean magic erasers. They got like we did tie-dye shirts here and it got tie-dye out of my hands.
Really?
Yeah, I was shocked. Nothing
Makes me
else was
wonder what are
working.
those made of?
I mean, I'm just gonna
Magic? They're made of magic.
magic. I was like, I don't want to think of what else might be in there, but it worked, so
My hands are clean.
that's right.
All right, look at that. We're gonna save this. So I've got this beautiful ginger and turmeric, and I'm gonna add it to here. All right. And then once our oil is hot, we'll pour this in. All right, but just look at like this green and the orange and the yellow. It's just so beautiful and colorful. All right, we're gonna save this. Perfect. All right. And then all we have to do is get our vegetables prepped and then make our sauces. So one of the things that we are doing is a vegetable stir fry. And so over here, I have my vegetables. So this is actually, I love this recipe too, because it's kind of based on what you have. When I was making like prepping earlier today, I was like, well, I have way too much baby carrot or baby corn, which I love baby corn. So but I was like, I'm just not going to do carrots. Like, I don't need the carrots. I have a lot of corn. I have a lot of these are sugar snap peas, but you could use snow peas. And then we're going to do cabbage and red onion. So, what we're going to do is we're going to prep the cabbage. So, for the cabbage, I just cut like a chunk of this off. And then it does cook down a little bit, but I'm kind of thinking about the shapes that I have. So I don't want anything too stringy. I want it to be able to kind of like hold up to the rest of these vegetables. So I'm going to do a little bit of a bigger chunk. Nothing too crazy. There we go. And this will cook down, but now so I have these beautiful, and again, look at the colors, right? So we've got the purple cabbage, we have the baby corn. You can get canned baby corn, but Wegmans sells it fresh, which is like so cool. So that's what this is, and sugar snap peas. And then I took some scallions and I took the lower part that's more stemmy, and I just did some big cuts because this is really good in like a fried vegetable or, yeah, pan fried vegetable type of situation. And then the only other thing that's going to go in there is going to be onion. So I've got my onion here. I'm going to show you how to cut it without crying. So when you cut an onion, you cry because there are gases inside that onion. So there's two parts, right? There's the head that comes up, the root that goes into the ground. So you're just going to go off with their head, nice flat space, put it down, and then there you go. And you can peel it. And I like to peel, I'm keeping my root end attached, you guys can see, right? The root acts as like the prison, so it's keeping those gases in. So I like to peel that first layer of onion just because we're not doing a long cook on it. And that first layer is closer to the surface, which means it tends to be a little bit drier. All right, so let's turn on our vegetable pan. Ooh, our oil is hot over here. Check it out. Ready? So we've got our aromatics, my hot oil, bubble, bubble, bubble. I should have mic'd up the bowl so you could hear the sizzle.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, I can actually like imagine how much that sizzled.
It sizzles a ton. It's
Yeah.
awesome. And it's great because like it starts to kind of cook and like kind of like wilts down that stuff. And then it's just gonna sit here and the oil kind of like blooms it. So a lot of those flavors are kind of coming out and oh, it smells so good. So you guys can see what we've got here. Just like beautiful little stuff there. Okay, back to the onion. So we're gonna cut the onion. We're gonna do like little chunks. So all onions have these lines, and these lines are kind of our guide. So I'm gonna go leaving again about, I don't know, half an inch to that root end attached. And then I'm gonna go one way and the other. And then as you guys can see, I have these little slices, right? But I don't have it not crying and it's still connected. So I'm gonna do that to both sides. When I'm cutting a lot of onions, I prep all of them like this before I start chopping, because once you start chopping, it's kind of off the root end, and then you're like, well, we're crying. All right, and then there we go, just some nice chunks. Boom, done. All right, so I'm gonna get the onions started. Because that, like, normally when you're cooking like vegetables, you always want to start with your onion, and then I'm going to add the rest of the vegetables, and then we're going to add our sauce. So in here, I just have some cornstarch, which helps thicken it. I have a little vegetable broth, so it kind of like liquid to help cook it down, and then some other aromatics. And then I'm going to show you kind of what I did to make a sauce with the orange sauce. So like, you don't have to watch me make two almost identical sauces, you know? All right, let's check on our chicken. It's sizzling, looking good. All right. Onions are going. Oh, and I think our rice is done. Nice, the rice finished. So we're gonna let it just soak for a few minutes. Okay, and we're gonna make our orange chicken sauce. So this is actually one of the things I love about cooking Asian food is that yes, there's like a lot of different kind of stuff, but it's so easy to prep ahead of time. So a lot of times, like if I'm making Asian food, I'll do like 2 days before, I'll make all my sauces because that's what a lot of it is, right? Like it's a lot of chopping of vegetables and then it's a lot of sauces. So if I can just get my sauces done, it makes my life so much easier. So we're making an orange chicken. So here I have a bunch of orange juice because it's kind of the base. This is fresh squeezed orange juice. I'm not buying orange juice from the grocery store. Um, because it's just really not necessary. Like it's so much better when you have it fresh. And the other thing is we're also adding orange zest because I really want to get that orange flavor, and you can't get that with orange juice. So we're gonna zest this. I already have one orange zested, but we're gonna zest this other one. And so this is my microplane. This is my smaller one, as you guys can see. And what we're gonna do is I'm just going back and forth over the top of the skin gently. And then if you can look here, you see how it's like a little bit lighter. This is called the pith. This is really bitter. We don't want that. We only want the skin. So the reason for that is most flavor in citrus, so orange, lemons, limes, grapefruit, all that is located in the oil, and the oil is in the peel. So we're just gonna take that. And this is a Cara orange, one of my favorite kinds. I love them. They're very sweet, super flavorful. So it's gonna be good. All right, so we added that. Our onions are going. So our onions are looking happy. They're starting to get a little translucent. I'm gonna throw the rest of my veggies in. And that's just gonna cook and do its thing. All right. So for our this, we have all of our orange juice. There's also a little bit of water in here. And then I'm gonna add the rest of the ingredients, right? So my ginger and my garlic, I showed you how I grated that earlier. So that's gonna go in. And then we're gonna add some sesame oil. So I got my sesame oil right here. And then it's about a third of a cup of soy sauce. See if I can remember all of this off the top of my head. I'm feeling pretty confident. Here's the thing, this only measures of a quarter of a cup. So I'm just going to do a quarter of a cup plus a bit more and just figure that that's about a third of us, you know? That's how we cook at home.
That's the beauty of recipes like this.
I know. All right, so I got my soy sauce. I've got my rice vinegar, which is a quarter of a cup. Then I think it's 2 tablespoons of honey. I think it's 2 tablespoons of honey. No, I think it's a quarter cup of honey.
I can check for you. Hold on.
I'm feeling confident about it. We're gonna go 3 tablespoons. We'll meet in the middle. Mm-mm. All right, my honey.
I have quarter of a cup.
I went 3 tablespoons. I think it'll
All
be
right.
fine.
Perfect. You're using an extra sweet orange. You're good.
Honestly, I was using an extra sweet orange. You're not wrong. Thank you. All right, and then I'm gonna add some gochujang, which is a fermented Korean chili paste, but I'm running low, so we're gonna see if I can make it work.
Yep.
Feeling just about there.
Would a good replacement for that be like a sriracha if you have that at home and you don't feel like
Yep,
spending
you
the
can do
extra money on that?
sriracha.
Okay.
I would so much rather use a gochujang than a sriracha because gochujang is like fermented. So it's got a
Oh.
richer flavor. So there's more depth to it. It's got a really great like umami finish. So it's awesome. All right. So I've been like a sneezing machine.
Bless
It's that
you.
time of year. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to add is going to be some cornstarch. So again, cornstarch is really prevalent in a lot of like Asian cooking, and it's really like this thickening agent. People can use like arrowroot flour or something like that as well if they want. All right. And then I'm just going to mix this up, and then that's it. So for the sauce, what we're going to do is I'm going to put it in a pan and cook it until it thickens, and then we'll toss the chicken in, and that's it. It's done. There we go. Okay. So that's two sauces down. Let's check on my veggies. I'll show you guys one of my new favorite kitchen utensils. I don't think it was supposed to be this way. It's tongs, but they got two different types of tongs on here for some reason, but I love them. So I'm gonna use these just to saute my veggies.
I have so many tongs in my house, and my boyfriend was like, "Why do you have so many tongs?" And then I started cooking for him, and he was like, "Oh, this is why." I use them for everything.
I understand now. It's like, hello. Tongs are very useful. All right, let's take a look at these cucumbers really quickly. So, yeah, we got a lot of liquid coming out of these bad boys. They're looking really good though. Okay, I'm gonna check on our chicken. Nice. So you guys can see the chicken. It's looking good. It's starting to get crispy. Loving that. It's just about done, I think. All right. And then I think I'm gonna move the camera over while I finish up the veggies so you guys can kind of see what's going on in there. All right, so we're gonna go for a ride. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I have all these beautiful veggies. Again, loving the color, and I'm gonna add my sauce now. Okay. Smells good. And what's nice about this is so that sauce and that liquid is going to help kind of steam these vegetables, keep them cooking. So it's going to be nice and ready for me. All right. So that's going to hang out. It's going to cook. It's going to finish. Won't take very long. We're going to finish the cucumbers. Chicken's just about done. Then we're going to get the rice done. So for the cucumbers, I'm going to go drain these guys. All right. So they're drained. Decent amount of liquid came out, which is good. I'm just gonna wipe this and then I'm also just gonna take my cucumber. That's what you get for buying the $3 ones. Dang,
I
that's
was like, "That did
amazing.
not just break, did it? Oh my
It
gracious."
did. You guys saw I barely did anything.
You're so
Well,
strong.
that'll show me. All right. So to this, I'm going to grate some garlic. So I really like grating garlic. Here's the thing about garlic. The finer you cut it, the more potent it is. So it's going to be more potent grated than it is chopped, right? So you might not need as much, but it's about 2 cloves. And I'm just using this with the same one that my turmeric and ginger was on. If a little turmeric and ginger gets in there, that's fine. I'm going to add my scallions over here. I'm so excited about this veggie stir fry. I love baby corn. All right. All right, so I've added the ginger, or not, sorry, not the ginger. I added the garlic. And then we're gonna see if I can remember this recipe off the top of my head. I already know that I can't. It's all right, I got it right here. There we go. All right, so it's just a little bit of soy sauce. So I have some soy sauce, a little olive oil, a little sesame oil, and then some rice vinegar. And then again, some like gochujang, but I'm kind of like out. So I'm gonna use some chili crisp.
I love chili crisp.
Chili crisp.
Oh my God. That's what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow is avocado toast with an egg and chili crisp
You're just gonna have a spoon of chili crisp.
on top of the eggs. And yeah.
Oh, okay. You're
With
not
with
just
the
standing at
avocado
the
toast.
fridge
Yeah,
open with
no.
the chili crisp, like eating it like this.
I
It's
wouldn't
just
put
so
it past myself.
my mom travels to Asia a lot for work, and there is this Taiwanese restaurant that makes the most incredible chili crisp I've ever had in my life.
Ooh.
And they have a couple locations in the US, but they don't sell the chili crisp at the US locations. They only sell it in Asia.
Ugh, that's
So I'm
brutal.
like, guess you have to go back to Asia, Mom. All right,
We
so I'm just
actually
gonna do like one scoop of chili crisp because I can always add more. So a little chili crisp, and then I have some scallions, some green onion. I'm sorry, these aren't scallions, these are sesame seeds. Sesame seeds, green onion, cilantro. And we're gonna mix it up. It's such like a fresh, crisp salad. And I like it too, because a lot of times when you're having like, Chinese takeout or whatever, a lot of what you're eating is cooked. So it's really nice to have this as like just nice crisp salad kind of going with it. All right, and look at that. So we have, oh wait, I'm like, there's no camera there. Where are you? There you are. Look at
that
that.
that looks awesome.
Yeah, it's nice.
Someone wants to know what your recommended brands for soy sauce and rice vinegar are.
Yeah, so for rice vinegar, I always use the Miracon. It's like not super, it's not a seasoned rice vinegar. I just think it's really nice. I like it. It's what I've always used. For soy sauce, I love Kikkoman. I think that if you're not gonna like really dive into soy sauce and get like true, authentic like soy sauce, which is like an art, Kikkoman is really great. It's a really good company. They work hard to kind of like preserve, the joy, like the joys of making the soy sauce, stuff like that. So I use the Kikkoman brand. But I highly recommend going to H Mart and like looking at soy sauces. There's also, if you are cooking like Asian food at home, dark soy sauce is great to have. So I have dark soy sauce, which I love. It's like a thick soy sauce. And it's great. All right, these veggies are officially done. So I'm going to switch, put that in the back on low. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to pour my orange chicken sauce in here. And we're going to bring that up to a simmer so it can thicken. Let's check on our chicken. Look at that. It's getting crispy, looking good. I'm going to check the temperature, make sure we're fully cooked on here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're cooked. All right. Sometimes what I'll do if it's not as crispy as I want it to be, I'll put my oven on broil and I'll let it just hang out under the broiler for a minute. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna flip it and let the other side hang out under the broiler for 1 minute, just so that side can get kind of crispy too. Because that's one of like the best parts of orange chicken, right? It's like this beautiful crispy chicken, and then you have that great sauce with it. Sweet sour sauce. All right.
I assume if people like using an air fryer, they could use an air fryer for this as well.
Yeah, you could 100% do that in the air fryer, no problem.
Nice.
So yeah, I would do it in the air fryer. All right, let's get cleaned up so we can plate. All right, so that's gonna come to a boil. Let's do the rice. All right, I'm gonna move this back over here so you guys can watch the rice action. Ooh, you guys get to see my floors. There we go. All right. So clear this. So I've got my rice here. And it's just, plain white rice, nice and happy. I'm going to take my spoon and fluff it. All right, and then I'm going to pour in my aromatics. And it's going to turn this beautiful yellow color. So you guys can see it's like nice and yellow now. And I'm going to get a plate so we can start plating everything. Our sauce is boiling. Just got to let it get thick. All right. Okay, here's like one of my fancy tricks. I'll take my little 1 cup measurer. I'm going to fill it with my rice. Henry says this is how they do it when they're in the DR. Should have a bigger spoon. And I'm just kind of like pushing it down a little bit too. And then flip it and look at that. Isn't that so fun?
That looks awesome.
We fancy.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that kind of takeout when you bring that home, you get a little paper carton and stuff. Like this is way
I,
better.
to be fair, with the paper carton, you can flip it out also. Like, they stuff that rice.
There is that.
Okay. And two. There we go. And our chicken. So look at how nice and crispy our chicken got. It's like, looks amazing. And our sauce is over here, almost starting to get thick. All right, so I'm gonna plate my veggies. So I've got my corn, my sugar snap peas, my cabbage. Go here.
I think the hardest thing for me about like any kind of style of cooking that I don't normally do, or actually any cooking in general, is I never really learned how to do sauces. Like I'm good. Like I can do all kinds of spices, but when it comes to a sauce, I'm like, gosh, how do I do this? And so these recipes are so awesome because you have the two or three different sauces that you're making, plus like a dressing for the
Yeah, but they're
cucumbers
and
and
they're so
stuff.
simple.
And they're so simple,
They're
but
so
it's just
simple.
like if you don't know what you're doing, you're just like, I don't even know where to start. So this is a great jumping off point.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so speaking of, my orange chicken sauce is boiling. It is thickened, so I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to add in my orange chicken. It's like, where'd those tongs go? All right. Put this back down. We'll move the pan over here. All right. So you guys can see. So my sauce got nice. Oh, you can't really see anything. There we go. Oh, it smells so orange. I love it. It's so vibrant. All right. As it's cooling down. So then you guys can see. There we go. Yeah, you can see. So we have like this beautiful looking orange chicken. It's got this great sauce. So I'm gonna just put that right here. So we've got our orange chicken.
That is beautiful. And you guys, we started late on this program. Like we started at like 5 past and it's 10 of. This was 45 minutes. This is so
You
simple
guys
and
can do
easy.
this.
We can do this.
You can do this. You got it. It's fine. All right. We're not going to talk about how many dishes I have to do right now, but like, you got this.
Yeah.
All right. And then, of course, our beautiful, crunchy cucumber salad. And then I'm going to throw scallions over everything. And we're going to throw a little extra cilantro on top of the cucumbers. I also love this because like the cilantro is really good with the orange chicken, so it all complements really well. And then my sesame seeds. And that's it, you guys. That's all she wrote. So we have this like really beautiful, really fresh, really satisfying takeout meal. Takeout.
These are absolutely stunning.
Oh,
Absolutely so stunning and beautiful. And I mean, the fact that this is all fresh and it's healthy and I mean, again, doesn't take a long time to cook. Maybe it takes a little longer to clean up, but like
to be fair,
this
I
is
also like I took all my dishes out because I was showing
yeah,
you everything.
that's right. And
Yeah,
we have dishwashers for a reason. So
exactly. That's why we have husbands and boyfriends.
and that too. So
Yeah.
whoever's cooking, you're not doing the cleaning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So awesome. I love
Yeah,
it. Does anybody have
we
any
want to see a
questions?
yeah, we want to see a close up. Can you lift one of them up to the camera? Because
Yes.
I mean, with the sesame seeds and everything, I mean, look at that. That is just absolutely gorgeous.
So
The
colorful
colors,
and
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm definitely making that for sure.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about dinner tonight, not gonna lie.
Well, speaking of which, we're probably gonna have to let you get to that because I don't want that to get cold while we're all sitting here just oohing and eyeing at you. But
Oh, thank
thank you.
you.
But
Thank
thank you
you guys
so
so
much.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much for cooking for us tonight, Chef Kelsey. We absolutely love your programs, of course, as always, and we're very excited to see you in a couple more weeks for gluten-free
Yes.
baking. If
Yes.
anyone wants to join that program, the link is way up in the chat, but feel free to sign up on our online calendar whenever you'd like. We have some other great programs coming up that are all virtual this month. If you're interested in some art programs, and we've got some author talks and things like that, definitely check out our calendar. We have everything on there. Sign up for our e-newsletter if you haven't, because this is where we're sharing all of our stuff. And follow us on social media because we're on there sharing everything that's coming up too. So we're gonna see you all very soon. Like I said, this program is recorded, so we'll send out the link for that in a few days so that you can rewatch and be inspired again to do some cooking at home and keeping it healthy and satisfying and flavorful and fresh. So we really appreciate you coming out
My
tonight for our
pleasure.
program, and we will see you all again next time.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye, have a good one.